A new Kentucky state law requires that at least one school resource officer be assigned to every school or school campus. Focus investigative reporter John Charlton tonight explains why many districts won't be meeting that mandate ahead of the first day of school, including JCPS.
A little redecorating with the kids in mind. They should feel comfortable.
I think it's going to be good. I'm really excited about it.
And they should definitely feel secure.
They're safer than they are at home.
A lot goes into spelling out that 6-letter word.
Schools are the safest places to be. Why? We're in a school right now, and we have locked exterior doors. If we were in the classrooms, we would have locked interior doors.
The latest progress report, the 2020-21 risk assessment from the Office of the State School Security Marshal.
My name is Ben Wilcox. I'm the State School Security Marshal for the state of Kentucky.
Shows high marks in certain areas. For example, 99.15% of all public schools in the Commonwealth have electronically locking doors at the main entrance. 98.61% have a camera at that entrance. And 96% of schools control access to all exterior doors during the school day. But one security presence noticeably absent from hallways in more than half of Kentucky public schools is a school resource officer.
How vital are SROs on every school campus?
I think they're extremely vital. The school resource officer is not just a police officer. They're a mentor, they're an educator, and then they're also the protector of those students.
That's why the School Safety and Resiliency Act became law in 2019. Following the Marshall County High School deadly mass shooting.
We heard from a lot of parents, though, that also talked about making sure that we have school resource officers, to making sure that they are armed.
State Senator Max Wise authored the legislation requiring at least one SRO at every single public school or shared school campus. This past legislative session, State Rep Kevin Bratcher,
we need somebody there ready to go,
got House Bill 63 passed to reinforce the school police presence.
This bill was to reduce loopholes that some schools, namely JCPS, was using to avoid putting proper security in their schools.
Jefferson County Public Schools came up with an alternative plan.
They will serve a group of schools in a geographic area,
which the Board of Ed unanimously, although some members reluctantly, passed back in January.
I think officers need to be steps away from violent threat, not blocks away.
JCPS will have a mix of armed school safety officers, or SSOs, and unarmed safety administrators. Every middle school and high school are supposed to have at least one safety administrator.
The challenge really is to make sure that we get the right candidates.
SSO staffing is currently 12, with another 5 just hired. JCPS says those 5 have law enforcement experience, but still need state SRO certification, which requires 120 hours of additional training.
30 is what we want to have school safety officers patrolling our schools. We're short 13.
13. So how are you going to get to that 30 number before the first day of school?
So we won't get to 30 armed police officers before the first day of school.
The original plan was to have an SSO patrolling 3 to 7 schools at a time.
This is a good hybrid, if you will, solution to a pretty complex problem.
But what if the problem is an active shooter? After Uvalde, response time is on parents' minds, and an SRO to the letter of the law would already be on scene.
They're trained to go towards the threat and towards the gunfire.
Immediately?
Yes.
Chances are a JCPS SSO would first have to get to the school.
If that officer is not at the school, it's going to take some time. You don't see a problem there?
Again, I think the intent is to be able to provide better support than we've ever provided before.
Patrolling JCPS SSOs are just not good enough, Bratcher argues.
They are not in compliance.
And neither are in school, but unarmed safety administrators.
I think that's basically like saying, let's get a slingshot and a rock. If Taylor County's following the law, Fayette County's following the law, Jefferson County should not be an anomaly that they shouldn't be following the law. The law's been in place for over 2 years now.
If funding and or the hiring pool are an issue, the law allows that a district can develop an alternative safety plan as long as the state school security marshal signs off on it. The deadline was last Friday, but the marshal's office has yet to tell us if JCPS's plan actually got approved. John Charlton, WHS 11 News, on your side.